Slavonski Brod, commonly shortened to simply Brod, is a city in eastern Croatia, near the border with Bosnia and Herzegovina, being one of the principal cities in the historical regions of Slavonia and Posavina. Slavonski Brod was the seventh largest city in the country, with a population of 59,141 at the 2011 census. It is the center of Brod Posavina County and a major river port on the Sava River. Although Brod means ship in modern Croatian, the city's name bears witness to an older meaning, water crossing. Ford. Among the names historically in use, Marsonia in the Roman Empire, Brod in the German-speaking Austrian period, Brod na Savi after 1934. The ancient name, Marsonia, probably comes from the Proto-Indo-European word *mori, and the same root is seen in the nearby toponyms such as Mursa and Mariniana. The city is located 197 kilometers southeast of Zagreb and at an elevation of 96 meters. It developed at the strategically important crossing over the Sava River toward Brod in Bosnia and Herzegovina. The Bosnian city was called Bosanski Brod until 2009. Slavonski Brod is an important intersection of the Posavina part of the highway and a railway junction, since it is located on the highway linking Zagreb-Lipovec-Belgrade and the Zagreb-Vinkovci-Belgrade railway. The ship port, Brod, on the Sava River is under construction. There is also a new modern highway under construction on the Pan-European Corridor VC, which will connect Northern Europe and Hungary with Croatia distance from the center of the town. With the completion of this route, the area of the town Slavonski Brod will become one of the major highway intersections in this part of Europe, connecting directions west-east and north-south. Slavonski Brod is the sixth largest city in Croatia, after Zagreb, Split, Rijeka, Osijek and Zadar. Brod is the center of a built-up area of more than 110,000 inhabitants, including Brod in Bosnia, Sibinj, Bukavlja, Brodski Stupnik, Podkronkavlja, Gornja Vrba and Klakar. The following settlements comprise the administrative area of Slavonski Brod: a favorable geographical location, pleasant continental climate, fertile soil and being in the vicinity of the river Sava have all resulted with the city being inhabited since a prehistoric age. The northeastern part of the city, at Gulavo, recently revealed a rich deposit of the Starchevo culture, dating in the early Stone Age. Besides the fact that this is the largest architectural finding in northern Croatia, it proves that the locality of Brod has been inhabited for at least 8,000 years. The first historical settlement in Brod dates from Roman times, the settlement being known as Marsonia. It is still disputed whether Marsonia was a postal station, lodging for the night, or an actual settlement. The Petinga map refers to Marsonia as Marsoni, while the work, Notitia Dignitatum, has Marsonia under the name of Auxila Ascariatauruno Sive. Marsonia. The issue of Marsonia becoming a city has been tackled by the publishers of Ptolemy's geography, dating from the 16th century. The first geographer who located the position of Marsonia at the locality of Brod was Abraham Ortelius, who, in his Atlas Theatrum Orbis Terrarum, published a map, the objective of which was to reconstruct and connect the antique names of Pannonian and Illyric settlements with the towns of that time. It was he who placed Marsonia at today's location of Brod. Peutinger's table clearly shows that Marsonia initially existed next to the Sava River, at the place where the Roman road crossed the river. The first Croatian expert, claiming that the Roman Marsvnnia was located where Brod is now, is Matija Peter Katancic. Giving this assertion additional support, the Slavs settled in the area of the city in the 6th century. The name of the town is mentioned for the first time in Bela IV of Hungary's charter, dated 1224. The Vukovac fortress was built in the 15th century, subsequently damaged by the Turks. The Ottoman Empire controlled the settlement from 1536 until 1691, when it was ceded to the Empire of Austria, as confirmed by the Treaty of Karlovac in 1699. Until 1918, Brod remained in the Austrian monarchy, in the Slavonian military frontier. under the administration of the Brod Grenz Infantry Regiment N-7 until 1881. A huge Vauban-type fortress was built east of Vukovac. Alongside its defense role, the city saw steady development of crafts and commerce. The education and culture was strongly dominated by the Franciscans. The 20th century was a period of strong economic growth of the city, with the 1920s being called the Golden Age of Brod. The city's current name dates from 1934, when it was changed from Brod na Savy. From 1941 to 1945, the city was part of the independent state of Croatia. The town was heavily bombed by the Allies in 1944 and 1945. The bombing resulted in damage to 80% of the buildings in Slavonski Brod. The bombing resulted in 897 civilian deaths, 244 military deaths,